McConnell. And so right now it's tracking across Davis Lane towards Rhett McConnell. There's Ben Hamilton. Here's March Road. These are areas where this rotation area is going to go right over first within the next several minutes. So we're talking anywhere here around Dawes Road, Ben Hamilton, Ware Road, down to March Road, and it looks like Old Pascagoula. That's all the area that's included with the initial part of this warning box. Now, we do not see any debris right now. There is usually there is a TDS, so this is a tornado according to radar, just southeast of Dees, which is right here. This is Dees. So where it says Union Church, that's Dees Pecan right there. And so the possible tornado is going to be just right in through here. This may be some of the debris, Jennifer, that the folks of the National Weather Service are indicating may be pulled aloft by this possible tornado. We may indeed have a tornado on the ground in the Dees and Union Church area. And so some of the places that I mentioned, Ben Hamilton Road, Dawes Road, Ware Road, these are all locations where we've got a possible tornado. That's it right there. That is the debris showing up here on radar. So this is a confirmed tornado on the ground, most likely. And so what happens is when you have a tornado, it begins to suck debris up into the vortex. The radar, this is a dual pole radar product, is able to look at what it's seeing coming back on the reflectivity and tell if it's rain or if it's something else. And this is something else. This is a strong tornado debris signature, a TDS, showing up right there around Ballard Road. And there's going to be a delay from where we see the debris and where the tornado actually is. So this is the area where their possible vortex would be tracking towards very quickly. You've got Ben Hamilton and Ware, and then you've got Ben Hamilton and March Road. This is Dawes Road here. And it is going to continue moving to the northeast, which is going to bring it up near Gold Mine Road, and it'll bring it up into Dawes here around Jeff Hamilton Extension, McDonald Road, and then it will continue towards Schillinger. So we've got a tornado in Mobile County right now, tornado warning, and this is a TDS on radar. It is a tornado debris signature, which means it's very highly likely a tornado at this point, and it's tracking towards the east-northeast. You want to be in the lowest floor of your home. You want to be in an interior closet or hallway away from the windows as this passes by. It is going to track right into the heart of West Mobile. This is Schillinger Road here. We've got Cottage Hill here, so it is tracking towards Leroy Stevens. Dawes and Leroy Stevens, you are next. The possible tornado is where Jennifer circled it right here with the white outline. That's where we have that tornado debris signature, and it's starting to move. And as we get each volume scan, we're going to see some forward motion of this. The rotation area is likely a little ahead of the debris. There's usually a little delay between where the vortex is and then where the actual tornado is. So we are looking at the debris lagging a little behind. We're thinking right now it's going to be very close to Baird Cocktwell Road and Ware Road. So here's a look at it on the velocity product. We were looking at debris. This is showing really strong rotation in this area where we're getting the reports of debris. This is Straub Road right here. You've got Ben Hamilton. You got Henderson Lane East. This is where the rotation is right now. Likely a tornado on the ground tracking towards Ware Road, Dawes, and also Ben Hamilton. We're using our street level technology to pinpoint exactly where we're seeing the rotation and where it's going. And areas that are included this warning, you may be joining us here on Fox 10 News because your phone has gone off with a warning or an alert. It's because you are located with your location services right in through here. If you have the Fox 10 weather app, it's alerting you to possible severe weather. And we're going to continue to see this tracking in the direction of Mobile Regional Airport, the Medal of Honor Park area, and down towards Hillcrest, south of Airport, and then all the way down towards Three Notch. This is all included in the warned area. So Jen has it highlighted here. That is very strong rotation right there. And the track is going to be towards the northeast as it moves across western and southern Mobile County here and heads in the direction of the heart of West Mobile. It is currently located just past Grand Bay Wilmer Road. If you're out Fort Lake, it's past you now. And if you're near Grand Bay Wilmer, it looks like the core of this is just passed over Grand Bay Wilmer, but it is heading through and up Dawes Road right now. The atmosphere is prime today. You may have noticed that it's starting to feel warm and humid out there, and so we're getting some instability. And this is a very substantial hook echo showing up on base reflectivity. So there are a lot of different ways we can look at this and see the clue that a possible tornado is occurring. We have our tornado debris signature on the debris tracker. We have our velocity couplet on our velocity, and then you can see the hook right here. So this is a supercell thunderstorm. It is moving northeast at 20. It's not sitting in one spot. It is currently just to the east of Grand Bay Wilmer Road, but it's tracking up towards Dawes, and it will end up tracking very close to or just south of Mobile Regional Airport, and it's going to do it fairly quickly. We're not going to have a whole lot of time to prepare for a possible tornado in this area because of that fast forward speed. So currently still showing rotation here. It is tracking in the direction of Leroy Stevens. We had a warning earlier in Jackson County, Mississippi, and thankfully it didn't last very long. It was about a 20-minute deal, and then the thunderstorm kind of played out its life cycle and things improved. We'll see how long this one stays intact, but we are seeing substantial debris aloft around Hilltop Road, and you've got Ben Hamilton right there. So it looks like we're starting to get some debris around Ballard Road and Davis Lane here. This is Highfields Road here, where it comes across Dawes and then bends back down to the south. Those are some locations once it gets south of Dawes where we're likely seeing that tornado, and it is tracking towards Ben Hamilton and Ware, and it will continue to move in the direction of the Dawes area. And Jennifer, you're watching this too here on radar. We are getting reports that this one could indeed be on the ground. It certainly looks that way with our debris tracker.
That's exactly right, Jason. We're continuing to monitor this. And just a reminder for the folks out there, we are currently live streaming on our app, on our Facebook Live. And so in case you need to leave your TV, you can turn it up. That's always going to be a great option. But as always, we have that live coverage here. I'm watching all of those comments on my phone here. So in case you have any questions that you want answered for us, we will be more than happy to do that. But again, in case you're just now joining us, I'm going to go ahead and show where exactly is included in this tornado warning. So folks in Mobile County, if you're located closer towards Mobile Airport, Dawes, Heritage Woods, down towards Medal of Honor Park, really just crossing right over Schillinger Road, that's where we're seeing some of this included in that tornado warning. This is an active on the ground tornado warning. This is a real threat that we're going to be dealing with. It's not some of those radar indicated tornadoes. This is showing debris being lofted into the air, so it is causing damage out there. So you really need to take this one serious. A lot of folks are either off work today. A lot of kids, they're out of school at this time. So if your kids are at home, make sure they're answering their phones. Make sure they know that this is an active tornado warning and a real threat that is going on. So again, double check that your kids, if they're located within that red box, if we've been naming off some of those roads that you're familiar with, near Medal of Honor Park, Cottage Hill Road, down towards Schillinger Road, Leroy Stevens. If you're in any of those areas, if those names are familiar to you, you want to make sure that you're in that safe space. Now that can include the downstairs level of your home, away from any of those windows. Think of a closet, think of a pantry, think of a bathroom. Those are the areas that you need to be getting into at this point because we are starting to track this active threat. Here's a look at that storm. And so it's loud out there. Even here at the Fox 10 studios, we're located around Government, I-10, that I-65 interchange, and we're hearing all of that thunder, that lightning, that heavy rain, still noticing that hook with this system. But there's where that rotation is located. So it is getting closer towards Dawes Road at this time, just crossing on the north side there of Ben Hamilton and Ware Road. Also starting to see some of that closer towards, again, that Jeff Hamilton Road too, getting closer towards Dawes, just noticing some of that rotation. But as far as that debris signature goes, still starting to see some of it. It's going to be that bright ball you see right there.
Wow.
Go ahead and circle that.
That's a strong debris signature
That is a
right
very
there.
strong signature. So again, this is going to be a true active threat with this tornado warning on the ground. You need to go ahead and take this serious. A reminder that we are live streaming on our app. We are live streaming on our Facebook. If you have questions, we do have our team coverage here today. Meteorologist Nicholas Herboso also monitoring our social media, so he'll be more than happy to answer any of those questions that you may have in the comments. Jason.
Yes, likely a significant tornado on the ground right now in Mobile County on Dawes Road, and it is basically tracking right up Dawes Road. It may even get a little further north than Dawes Road, at least initially here when it crosses Ware Road and the Baird Coxwell Road area here, and then ending up near McLeod Road. So where you have the circle is here that Jennifer has drawn out here, that is where we're seeing our TDS, our tornado debris signature. This is where the radar is seeing debris in the mid and upper levels of the storm. And we are also looking at, located with this, an area of very strong rotation. So we likely have a tornado here. This is Southern Oaks here. You've got Ware coming up from Ben Hamilton. And so the tornado may be a little north of Ben Hamilton now, and it's going to be gaining latitude here. It's moving a little bit more to the northeast. And so that's going to have it crossing Dawes Road, very close to Dawes and the Baird Coxwell area. We've got Crossley Hill Drive. These are areas where you need to be in shelter. You've only got a matter of minutes here. Possible tornadoes about to go right over you. We've got Private Road 315. This is McLeod Road here. Possibly this could end up around Scott Dairy Loop Extension and Scott Dairy Loop Road South and McFarland. So it is very much, these are locations that are very much in the core of this tornado warning. That cell is just off to the southwest, and it's moving to the northeast at 20, so it's on the way. Here's a look at it here. And we've likely had a tornado on the ground for at least the last 5 to 10 minutes based on what we've seen presented on radar here. There are a lot of different tools that we have that are much more advanced that show us where a tornado is compared to what we had years ago. You've got the dual pole radar now, and that gives us the velocity product that can show us exactly where the rotation is. When you have the red and the green, and then in this case the green is actually very, very strong, actually turning to blue. When you have these two things right next to each other, you are seeing gate to gate shear. So that means there is the possibility of a tornado. Then if we look at our correlation coefficient and our TDS, our tornado debris signature, we can actually see what is coming out of the clouds, whether it's rain or if there's something else going on where it could be debris. And we do have a debris signature that is located right here with that couplet, and some of the pixels are getting very, very strong. So this is a strong tornado debris signature, likely getting debris here over Dawes Road now. And this is going to be tracking to the northeast at 20. So this image may be a couple of minutes old here. I would expect your possible tornado is going to be about right in through here. Baird, Coxwell area, Southern Oaks Trail, and Dawes, and tracking towards McCovery Road, Crossley Hill Drive, Private Road 315, McLeod Road, and Dawes starts to take more of a northerly course, so it's possible that this will cross Dawes and then move up near McLeod Road and then cross Dawes again here a little bit further to the north. You've got Jeff Hamilton here. This is Euler Road here, and it could be a little bit further out to the east as Euler turns into McLeod there, that it actually intersects with this area. It looks like it is a little south of Jeff Hamilton. Some of this debris is right near Dawes and Jack Hamilton, and then we're going to see the cell tracking towards Dawes. And what it's doing is it continues to move to the northeast. It says it's on the ground. We just got an update from the National Weather Service that the tornado is actually on the ground near Gold Mine, which is actually pretty far ahead of this radar image. So there may be a little bit of a delay here in the imagery. So we got a report that the tornado is on the ground near Gold Mine and Churchill, which is going to put it right in through here. And so it's actually maybe a little ahead of the debris signature. There is the debris signature there. Here is there's Gold Mine right there. So Gold Mine is here. It's almost to Schillinger based on what we're seeing right now. So we've got it around Gold Mine and 3 Notch. That may be a spotter report. It does not line up exactly with where we're seeing the signature on radar, but it's certainly within the storm-based warning, within the tornado warning. So regardless of where you are, if any of these streets or neighborhoods that we've mentioned, if you're in those areas, you want to be in your safe place, lowest floor of the home. Keep the audio up on your TV or take your phone with you and stream it, and we'll walk you through it here on Fox 10 News as this moves through. So we'll continue going with our coverage. We're not going anywhere. We'll have more updates to come here on Fox 10 News. As long as this is on the ground in Mobile County, we're going to stay with you. You've got Cody Road in Solly. You've got the Schillinger Road area. This is Cottage Hill at Schillinger, out towards Leroy Stevens. We've got Leroy Stevens Road here, Dawes, and then there is your possible tornado. And again, it's moving fairly quickly, and we just got a report that it's near 3 Notch and Gold Mine. So it's possible that this may be a little further along. That's what's being displayed there on our radar. It is a strong tornado debris signature, so this is likely a tornado on the ground that is occurring in this place. And we've got a little bit of lag in the imagery, but we're going to continue to track this.
I was going to say, it's been about 5 minutes since we've gotten that last scan. Here you go. We're going to get a brand new scan here. Hopefully it continues to update where that location is. Almost looks a bit more broad over the Dawes area, but definitely seeing some differences there to this brand new update.
And looking at the debris signature
Not as
here,
organized.
kind of harder to see.
Yeah.
It can get messy, but it looks like the debris would be located, yes, exactly where I would have drawn it, right there near 3 Notch and McFarland. So this thing is now pulled away from Ware Road, and it's moving up towards Dawes, and hopefully the lighter rotation that's showing up on radar is a good sign, but there is still likely some debris aloft here as this is moving up over Dawes. So if you're just joining us, tornado warning for Mobile County, specifically areas within this red box right here. And this includes Mobile Regional Airport, the Schillinger Road area at Cottage Hill, Medal of Honor Park, Heritage Woods. A lot of these spots are in the warning. There is Cottage Hill Christian School there. Kids not there today. We're out for the holidays, but we are looking at a possible tornado down here around McFarland and Dawes, tracking to the northeast, and it will be crossing Leroy Stevens soon if it's still on the ground. And we've had a very strong tornado debris signature with this, so likely we've got a tornado. It is causing damage. It has created debris in Mobile County, and it's moving on off to the northeast at 20. Now, if it continues to hold together, it would ultimately get up to Airport Boulevard around University, but that's a pretty good ways out. Out ahead of it would be places like the University of South Alabama. These are areas where you definitely want to be watching to see if this warning continues. This is the hook signature here. Another problem that we probably have going on here is that it's very close to the actual radar site itself. So you've got the radar site here, and when you get really close to the radar doesn't perform as well as it does if it's just a little ways out, say 10 or 15 miles away from the radar. So the close proximity to radar will put this in a little bit of a cone of silence where we can't actually see what's going on radar as well. So that will be another thing that will play into the ability to be able to track this thing, but likely we're going to get a lot of confirmation and spotter reports because this thing is moving through a highly populated area. So hook signature on the reflectivity. We've seen real strong velocity and rotation, and we've also seen the tornado debris signature, and all these signs point to a tornado on the ground. At this point, it would be right in here, right near Dawes Road, tracking towards Schillinger and continuing into the northeast. And this warning is in effect for about the next 30 minutes or so. It looks like the next 20 minutes. It's set to expire at here in just a little bit at 2:45, but it may be continued. Are some notes in the warning. I'm actually reading them right now, that the tornado is located 6 miles south of Mobile Regional Airport at 2:20. So that was 7 minutes ago. So it would be in this area here, pretty close to where Jen has it drawn off there, moving northeast at 25. So a little faster forward speed with this, and tree damage is likely, damage to roofs, windows, and we've had that debris signature on radar there. It was very well formed, unfortunately, when it was a little further south over Dees Pecan down here. And you can still see what looks like some debris there, also possibly some debris here as well. So yeah, we've got a live picture here on Three Notch Road. We've got crews out there on the scene tracking this here, and we are looking for any possible damage in this area. It looks like we're traveling west on Three Notch, so that's going to be right here is where our storm tracker vehicle is located, and that's real close to our last report of the possible tornado, about 6 miles south of the airport. You get out here towards the Gold Mine Road area where we had a report of the tornado earlier, and it would be tracking here very close to Three Notch and Cottage Hill and Schillinger as it moves on through this area. So that is within the warned box area. Whoever, if you'll send a message to the crew, when they hit Schillinger, they might turn north on Schillinger off of Three Notch and head north, and we can survey that area for some possible damage as well. But I do not see anything imminently showing up as a tornado in that shot there, thankfully, out on Three Notch Road. So we're covering this here in the studio with team coverage. I'm here along with meteorologist Jennifer Lambers. We also have our crews out there storm tracking right now and keeping an eye on the conditions in West Mobile to give us some better handle on what's going on. This is really important because we've got this thing moving so close to the radar, Jennifer. It may be hard to actually see where the rotation area is and how it's progressing. It certainly shows up as a substantial hook echo on reflectivity.
That's exactly right. And so the folks in the comments of our Facebook Live right now, they're doing a great job at keeping others updated based on their location. It's either calm and quiet where some of them are, it's more active where other folks are. So reminder, right now you can download the Fox 10 News or the Fox 10 Weather app. You can follow along with our coverage right there in the palm of your hand, especially if you're still included in this warning box. You want to go ahead and get into that safe space, whether that's going to be a closet, a pantry, a bathroom. If you are in the bathroom, go ahead and climb into that shower or that bathtub, because reminder that this was an active tornado on the ground. No specifications right now if it has lifted, but we are going to continue to treat this as that active tornado warning, creating that threat. It showed signs of that debris signature, just lofting some of that into the air, into the atmosphere. So that's why we're staying with it, keeping you updated here at Fox 10. Reminder for folks that are joining us, Baldwin County, you are not included in this. This is only going to be for Mobile County, Alabama at this time, seeing some of this move through. We're going to go ahead and get an updated look at that sweep, at that scan. But as Jason just mentioned, it is getting closer towards that radar site at Mobile Regional Airport out in West Mobile. So that is going to be limiting our visibility just a little bit. The folks at the National Weather Service, they are also located there at Mobile Regional Airport. And so they're having to also be cautious as this threat approaches closer towards the airport. Almost looks as if that scan didn't fully make its way across. But we're slowly starting to get in some of that data. But here is a brand new update from the National Weather Service. They said that the tornado has likely lifted near or just along Three Notch Road near the Belmead and Larkspur neighborhoods. Now, please remain in your safe location for at least another 5 minutes or so, as the storm still has the potential to produce another tornado rapidly. Any possible tornado redevelopment would impact areas including Milk House Subdivision, Northeast 2 or near the Malabar Hearts community, and also Greenwich Hills communities near Cottage Hill and University Boulevard. If you are in these areas, again, please remain in your shelter until we give the all clear. We will continue to update you. So again, that's going to be the latest from the National Weather Service. They're still continuing that tornado warning, but the active threat of it looking to be on the ground has now subsided. However, as we saw earlier, that this could actually touch down once again. So we're going to continue to monitor this and keep you guys updated right here at Fox 10 with this team coverage. Jason.
And just to show you the changes here. So these are storm-based warnings. So it's not like there's a warning for a whole county or a large geographical area. It's very specific. And the area that is included is anywhere that's inside this red box right here. And that's going to include Mobile Regional Airport, Providence Hospital, Medal of Honor Park, Heritage Woods, the Schillinger and Cottage Hill area are going to be pretty much right in the center of this warning. Now, as Jennifer told you, folks at the National Weather Service has seen, and what we've seen based on the velocity product on radar, is it appears that this may have lifted at least temporarily. So that's good. But we definitely had a tornado on the ground further out Dawes Road, around Ware Road, and back towards Dees Plantation as we were looking at it earlier. So then we had a tornado debris signature with this one. It is currently located right in through here, if it is indeed on the ground, very close to Leroy Stevens and Cottage Hill. And it's going to continue tracking to the northeast. Right now, the motion is about 25 miles an hour. If there's not a tornado, this is likely very close to being a severe thunderstorm. We've got some gusty winds. We've got the possibility of some small hail, and we also have very heavy rainfall and some lightning strikes. We've gotten some lightning strikes showing up here with this storm as it's coming through, especially on the northern flank of it, up towards Providence and Mobile Regional. What's left of this will continue heading through town here, and it looks like we're heading up Schillinger's now here. Boy, that's some very heavy blinding rain that's going on Schillinger's Road. So we've got our storm tracker crews out, and they were coming along 3 Notch, and it looks like they turned north up Schillinger Road, and they're in the core of this very heavy thunderstorm here. The reflectivity rates have been very high. We're getting very dangerous conditions for travel right now. You see that red right there? That's what our crew is driving in right now. In fact, it's such strong reflectivity that we actually have some of it even turning kind of maroon colored or brown here. So this is blinding rain, super heavy in nature. And if you're looking for, well, where's the tornado, where's the rotation, most likely it's out ahead of this a little bit, up Cottage Hill Road, around Cottage Hill and Cody. But the indications are that this tornado may have lifted for now. We're not seeing the tornado debris signature. We're not seeing as much rotation, but it's also getting here real close to the actual radar itself at Mobile Regional Airport. So with that close proximity to the radar, it is likely a situation here where we may not be able to see a tornado if it's indeed forming. You see how dangerous it is on the roads. We've got 18-wheelers moving really fast in the right lane. We've got another car going a little slower in the left lane. Looks like there's something along the road. I don't know if something fell out of a truck or what, or if that was some debris there showing up as well. So we've got crews out surveying the situation. We're also watching it here on Channel 10. We've got about another 10 minutes for this warning. It may expire early. We'll see. We do not see a tornado on the ground right now. We're not getting reports of that, but we definitely had one earlier down around Dawes and further out Dawes Road back to the west into the western part of the county. The warned area includes Cody Road and Cottage Hill. It includes Hillcrest and Greelot. There's Greelot right there. It includes the Cottage Hill Christian School area, Schillinger's Road. And we've got real heavy rain, and this was a storm that has had the history of producing a tornado. It is definitely a severe thunderstorm. We are not seeing a well-defined rotation area within it now. It does look like more broad rotation is occurring. The folks at the National Weather Service are going to hold on to the warning for a little while longer. They may actually allow this warning to expire, and then we'll just have to watch this cell as it moves through the heart of Mobile, Midtown, up into Tolmanville and Pritchard, and then heads across the Delta and into Baldwin County to see if it cycles and a new tornado wants to form out of it. It's definitely a supercell thunderstorm going on. If you were watching our coverage yesterday evening and this morning with meteorologist Matt Barentine, we were talking about the environment for 1 or 2 isolated severe cells today, and that has played out. We're getting a surface warm front coming through You can feel the change in the atmosphere. It's starting to get that muggy feel to it. And this is actually priming the atmosphere for what could be a more significant severe threat tomorrow. We've got a level 3 enhanced risk of severe weather for tomorrow. We had some very active weather tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, and tomorrow night on your Saturday. So that's another thing to be aware of, is that we've got a tornado warning active in our area now, but we also have the potential of severe weather continuing tomorrow as we have a surface cold front coming through. And the timing, we're thinking anytime from about 4 p.m. on into the early morning hours on our Saturday. And the risk level has increased. We're now at a level 2 slight risk over most of the forecast area, and some counties, including north and northwestern Clark, most of Washington and most of Greene County, are in a level 3 enhanced risk. And so the levels of risk 1 through 5, 5 being the highest, this is a 3 for tomorrow. Today, we just had a level 1 marginal risk, and we've already seen what looks to be a tornado in Mobile County earlier with a very strong tornado debris signature. Our Futurecast model will show you what happens with this through the next several hours. We still could be pretty active with the weather through this evening. The severe component to it should fade some later tonight. We still can see some pretty active weather here showing up through 9 or 10 p.m. We will get a lull in the action overnight, and then we'll have to turn the page. And tomorrow, as we get into the morning hours, some scattered showers, but see this starting to form up. We may start to see some pretty nasty cells into the afternoon tomorrow. And as this front approaches from the west, we're likely to see even more opportunities for severe weather to have to contend with on our Saturday night. And this could be one of these scenarios where the surface line that has the potential of producing tornadoes and damaging winds will be coming through in the early morning hours of your Sunday. It will be gone by Sunday morning, but in the meantime, certainly something we've got to watch out for. I can see some daylight there as our crew is working up here up Schillinger's Road and making a turn there. I didn't recognize exactly where that is. You folks at home may see where that is exactly, but we're not seeing a tornado in that area now. Leroy Stevens. We were at Leroy Stevens and Schillinger's Road right there. Okay. And so our Storm Tracker crew is out here over West Mobile. You can see the extremely heavy rain that is occurring within the tornado warned storm. We're getting super heavy downpours in here. We're going to have a quick 1.5 to 2 inches of rain in some spots. Very high rainfall rates going on right now with this one here. A little further up the way, we will be seeing this crossing Grelot and moving up into across Airport Boulevard around University as well as it moves on off towards the northeast. So just to update you, current time is 2:40. Basically 2:39, 2:40. The warning is in effect until 2:45, but we've not seen the rotation as strong as what it was earlier, and we do not have a debris signature on radar now, thankfully, like we had earlier, indicating debris from a tornado occurring in western Mobile County. And so we've been watching this. You know, Jennifer and I were talking about it, and like, hey, you know, this thing could happen at any point. And the second we went under the tornado warning, we were getting on air. So we wanted to be here for you just to give you a better idea, a more comprehensive idea of what's going on than just what you're seeing on your phones, and show you street level, neighborhood by neighborhood, where we're seeing a possible threat and where it's going. The tornado warning is still in effect. It may still be in effect for about another 5 minutes. I want to talk about some areas that are in on all clear now. If you're out near Grand Bay Wilmer Road, this is past you. If you're in the Dawes Road area, anywhere from, say, around the community of Dawes back to the south and to the west towards Grand Bay, you are clear. But if you're getting up here into West Mobile from Airport and around Cottage Hill, you're still technically in a tornado warning here around Cottage Hill and Leroy Stevens and up towards the Grelot Road area, you are still in a warning now. But back some of the areas that I mentioned earlier, like Baird Coxwell Road, Dawes Road, Ware Road, Ben Hamilton Road, those areas are now clear. So the rotation area has gone past you. Hopefully you didn't see any damage, and you can go on about your afternoon. Just continue to it here on Fox 10. If we see any more warnings, we'll let you know. This is the area that's still included in the warning here. Warning will be in effect for about the next 4 minutes as it's tracking towards the northeast. And Jennifer, have you seen anything new with this? How's it looking on velocity right now?
So how we're tracking on velocity, here we go. It did just get a brand new update from the National Weather Service. I'll go ahead and check on that velocity scan first. Not quite seeing anything that's too impressive that sticks out to us on radar at this time. But again, this did approach closer towards Mobile Regional, and so we lost visibility of it just a bit. But even before it reached that point, it was already beginning to broaden, look a bit more on the wide side. So less impressive, not quite seeing that high velocity, that rotation, or even that debris signature. Now, that brand new update from the National Weather Service, it says that initial tornadic circulation, it has weakened, so they are about to cancel that tornado warning, and everyone is safe to come out of their shelter. However, they are closely monitoring 2 additional supercell thunderstorms that are intensifying. One of those storms is located over Tillman's Corner, with another just offshore south of Petty Boy Island that will be approaching between Grand Bay and Bayou La Battery over the next several minutes. Be prepared to act quickly again if a tornado warning is issued again for your area. So again, that heads up is mainly going to be for the Tillman's Corner area and also Grand Bay between Bayou La Battery. They did just officially cancel that tornado warning. We'll slowly start to see a drop off of our map here in just a moment, but I'm going to go ahead and look at some of those storms that they mentioned that they're monitoring at this time. So I'll start off with that one that's just offshore there, closer towards Petty Boy Island. You can start to see just some of that dark red coloration, noticing some of those lightning strikes becoming a bit more active. And then that other one was closer towards Tillman's Corner. So we'll move over there just a little bit. And we can see just pretty broad with some of that rain that we're tracking at this time, but it's still important to stay updated with us heading into the remainder of this afternoon and this evening. Although we've been focusing on that severe threat tomorrow, we only had that 1 out of 5 risk for today, but as we're seeing, a lot of these storms are still materializing. This is going to be the second confirmed tornado that we've seen on the ground for today. I've been monitoring a lot of folks' comments here on Facebook asking if they're in the clear. Again, this tornado warning, it has expired. It's not quite dropping off the map right now, but no active tornado warnings currently in place. But it's going to be so important to act on these in case you do see any of those tornado warnings. Double check with your kids if they're located at home. I know it's winter break right now. Some of the kids still at home, even though the parents are at work. So double check they're staying updated with the forecast and getting some of those alerts. Also, we did get a viewer report saying that they did have heavy damage to their home that was located in Grand Bay right near Pugh Road. So we'll be sending a crew down there just to check out some of that damage to share it back with you here. And also we share that information with the National Weather Service. So if you ever have any of the damage from these systems, first make sure everyone is okay, but also let us know because we share that with the National Weather Service. Afterwards, that's how they go and assess some of that damage and the strength of those tornadoes. So it's always after the fact that these systems occur that they move through, that's how they rank how these were. And they travel and they check out just some of that damage. So we'll continue to keep you updated right here on Fox 10. There's that tornado warning officially dropping off with that expiration at 2:45, Jason.
So the other areas that we're going to be watching right here in the Tillman's Corner area here around Rangeline Road 193 and I-10, just keeping an eye on that for some possible rotation there. And then also we've got a pretty hefty cell over Petty Boy. It's still a ways to go before it's actually on land, but there's the possibility of some rotation in this area here and then also out over Mississippi Sound tracking towards Bayou La Battery, another area that we're going to continue to watch. We don't see any sharp rotation with that one there. Very strong rotation with this one here off of Petty Boy Island, which is an uninhabited island off it's Gulf Islands National Seashore. Beautiful, but there are no houses there. This is tracking to the northeast. If it holds together, could be an issue down the road for Bayou La Battery or Alabama Port. If we do see something threatening areas anywhere from the Bayou to Grand Bay with this one here, we will certainly let you know. Also, if you have damage reports and you've got pictures that you want to share of any damage in your area, you can use our free Fox 10 Weather app. You can download the app and you can upload pictures right to us on the Fox 10 Weather app. We'd love to see them. We hate that there may have been some possible damage in your area, but we would like to see the reports of damage so that we can show viewers here on Fox 10 and get a better, more comprehensive view of what's happened here with a strong tornado debris signature on radar. I'm going to wrap it up, but I want to send it over to meteorologist Jennifer Lambers for one more thing before we go back to
I did want to
programming.
go ahead and just share some of those reports too. Our meteorologist Nicholas Herboso, he's traveling through the area too, just checking in on some of that damage. He is sending us videos specifically from the corner of Dawes and Southern Oaks Trail, showing some trees that have been snapped, some debris in people's yards, and also we are getting reports of some power outages out there, especially at some of those intersections. So please be careful if you're going to be heading out on the roads anytime soon. If you approach some of those intersections, make sure that you're always going to be looking, seeing the traffic in the other directions. Normally, if it's that yellow flashing, that means that you yield, but the folks can still have the right of way to go through there. It's going to be that red flashing that you have to stop. So always just double check, make sure you're paying attention to the cars in the other direction. Even if you have that yellow flashing, you approach it slowly. Don't be going through there really quickly. And also double check that your headlights are on. That way you're visible to other drivers. Also getting reports of multiple trees down near Leroy Hill Mansion on Grand Bay Wilmer Road. We're going to continue to monitor these storms, keep you updated with that team coverage right here on Fox 10. Also Fox 10 Live right around the corner. That is going to be starting closer towards 3 p.m. We'll be right back with more of that coverage coming up with just in about the next 12 minutes on Fox 10 Live beginning at 3 p.m., keeping you updated with team coverage throughout the afternoon and the evening.